Good morning. Good morning. Today I invite you to journey with me into the heart of what binds us together, our stories. Stories are so much more than the tales we tell. They're the essence of how we make sense of the world, how we endure, understand, and find our place in the grand web of existence. Every story is both a mirror and a map, reflecting who we are and guiding us toward who we might become. Let's think about what makes a story captivating. That every memorable tale has certain key elements. It has a hook, a vivid setting, compelling characters, unstoppable turning points, and a well-deserved ending. The good ones do, at least. These elements aren't just for novels or movies. They apply to the stories we live and tell, to how we organize our lives, our communities, and our values. So let's break down these elements of a story and explore how they guide us as Unitarian Universalists. The hook. Why we gather. Every story begins with a hook, something that grabs our attention and doesn't let us go. In our faith tradition, that hook is our search for meaning, for justice, and for truth. Think about what brought you here today. Was it a yearning for spiritual growth? A desire to be part of something larger than yourself? The hook is what calls us together, that spark of wonder and mystery that compels us to explore the deeper questions. We gather here week after week, not just to hear answers, but to sit with the questions themselves. Let's talk about the setting. Our shared space and time together. Our setting, the world we inhabit, is both immediate and timeless. It's the here and now, the very walls of this sanctuary, but also the universe that holds us all. As the poet Mary Oliver said, to pay attention, this is our endless and proper work. We share this space, this fragile, beautiful planet, and our stories are rooted in this shared place. Together we honor the stories of those who came before us and those yet to come. We're here to build a community that doesn't just talk about love and justice, but lives it into being. Relatable characters. We, the storytellers. Who are the characters in our Unitarian Universalist story? We are the characters, each of us, with our unique lives and diverse perspectives. It adds depth and meaning to this community. Relatable characters have strengths and flaws. And we have both of these in spades. They struggle, they learn, they grow, and they make mistakes, and they try again. I encourage you again to read the first 20 years that is out and linked in the Unicorn. Through these mistakes and in this space, we are encouraged to be our true selves, with all our complexities and contradictions. It's the realness of each of us that makes this story worth telling. Dialogue and plot, the conversations we share. A great story has dynamic dialogue, exchanges that aren't just conversations, but revelations. Our interactions, our discussions, and even our disagreements drive our plot forward. Each Sunday, in our gatherings, small groups, and coffee hours, we create dialogues that enrich our understanding of ourselves and the world. These conversations are more than words. They're ways of living out our covenantal promises to one another, to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of all, and to seek truth in love. The plot of our community story isn't static, is it? It's ever unfolding. The turning points, moments of crisis, change, and insight, they shape us as individuals and as a congregation. In those turning points, we find resilience. We reframe our understanding, and we choose again and again to love one another, to act with justice, and to strive for peace. Now we get to the climax, our moments of collective awakening. A climax in a story is that moment when everything hangs in the balance, the point of transformation. Transformation, we adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. This from our bylaws. For us, these climactic moments may look like social justice actions, responses to crisis, or simply moments of deep connection in times of grief and joy. These are moments when our values are tested. And we lose our spot sometimes. And we must decide, will we live up to our promises? Will we act with courage even when it's hard? These moments demand our full presence and courage. Neuroscientists use fMRI scans of subjects fully engaged in a story to show that our brains are flooded with empathy and connection in the insula, the amygdala, and thalamus. We are wired for connection, for mutual understanding. These are the moments that shape us individually and collectively and leave us transformed. The ending. Finally, every great story has a satisfying and deserved ending. Our story as a congregation is ongoing. You've heard that every new beginning is some other ending's whatever, right? So it leads to new beginnings. But each chapter we create together shapes what will come next. How do we want to be remembered? Will we be a community known for our kindness, our courage, our willingness to wrestle with the hard questions? When people look back on this time, will they say nice things about us? What will they say? Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel said, "Our goal should be to live life in radical amazement. Get up in the morning and look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted," he said. That is the kind of story we are called to live. One that remains awake to the wonder and mystery of the world, that is driven by radical love and compassion. What's our story? So, my friends, I challenge you with this. What's our story? What does it say about who we are and what we believe? How will we be remembered? In a world so often filled with discord and division, how can we live in ways that reflect our values, that uplift our principles? The poet Muriel Cousser wrote, "The universe is made of stories, not of atoms." We are each a chapter in the story of this place, and the stories we tell today will be the memories of tomorrow. As we leave here today, let us carry this question with us. What story will you tell about this place? And who will you tell it to next? May our stories honor those who came before us, nurture those who walk with us, and inspire those who come after. May it be so. Blessed be. To help us tell our stories, I want to thank you for journeying with me through this exploration of story today. But now we're going to put that inspiration into action with a creative and practical exercise. Now, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but others will when you leave here. I've asked several members to imagine you're in an elevator, at a coffee shop, or meeting someone new, and they ask, "What do you believe? What is Unitarian Universalism?" If they remember to say it right. And what makes UUFBR special? You have 30 seconds, just enough for a short, compelling, and personal response that invites curiosity and connection. Why UUFBR? I can almost hear the anxiety rising in each of you. Again, I'm not putting you on the spot. This is not the moment for tasteless inside jokes like, "Coffee hour is our sacrament," which is funny to us. Or, "Ask 10 UUs and you'll get 21 questions in reply." This from the UU Hysterical Society. How many Unitarian Universalists does it take to change a light bulb? Answer. We choose not to make a statement either in favor of or against the need for a light bulb. However, if in your own journey you have found that light bulbs work for you, that is wonderful. You're invited to write a poem or compose a modern dance about your personal relationship with your light bulb. Present it next month at our annual Light Bulb Sunday service, in which we will explore a number of light bulb traditions, including incandescent, fluorescent, three-way, long life, tinted, and smart, all of which are equally valid paths of luminescence. The UUFBR response? Where's Patrick? In your reply, I ask you to consider who you want to attract. So, why this exercise we're doing here matters. We want to create a connection. It's often through these small moments of sharing that people first hear about Unitarian Universalism or decide to visit UUFBR. Clarity. Crafting your pitch helps you clarify what this faith or this congregation means to you and what you want others to know about it. Impact. An authentic, compelling pitch can inspire someone who might be seeking what we have to offer, but didn't know we existed. I often hear that. Now, next slide. In crafting a compelling pitch, think of a pitch as the opening lines of a story. You have to know your audience. Speak in a way that will resonate with the person you're addressing. If they're spiritual seekers, focus on our values. If they're activists, talk about our justice work. If they're parents, highlight our family programming, which we have had in the past and we will have again. Make it personal. Share why this faith or community matters to you. Authenticity is always compelling. Make it specific. What makes us different that they can't get anywhere else? And yes, everybody else does have good coffee. Keep it simple. Aim for clarity and focus. Imagine you have just a few sentences to light a spark. End with a hook. I know I said the hook comes at the beginning, but you have to leave them curious or inspired. Perhaps invite them to visit or explore UUism further. Again, I'm not going to put you on the spot. Instead, I've asked some of your friends to prepare their elevator pitches, and I'll ask them to come forward now. As you listen, think about how each pitch connects, inspires, and tells a story about our shared faith or community. We've transcribed these pitches and placed them in the back of the sanctuary for you to grab on the way out. So when you leave today, you'll have a collection of ideas and inspiration. Who's first?
Hello, I'm Betty Tilton. I think many of you know me. Are you ready? Okay, good. Where do you turn when you need support? For me, Unitarian Universalism is a community where I find strength and connection. UUism offers a safe place to explore life's questions and many challenges, grounded in values of love, justice, and mutual care. It's not about believing the same things. It's about growing together. Thank you.
You probably have to help me. This is the line that got me in the first trouble. I was attending church regularly at an Evangelical United Brethren, and they were doing everything, and they were saying that Christ died for our sins. And I made the comment, which was not a good comment, why was it such a sacrifice to pass out from life of lack of blood and go to heaven? And I was asked to leave. We didn't argue, we just get out of here. So I took sociology of religion in college for that same reason. And one of those chapters covered UU for a reason of the fact that it was not particularly religious. And I got hooked, and I'm still here.
Hi, I'm Cindy Malaney, and I think this is a great activity for all of you to do. So I'm going to read, my husband and I worked on it together. Are you seeking a place free from rigid religious dogma where you can be accepted for who you truly are, no matter who you love, what you believe, or where you're from? Do you long for a community of open-minded individuals committed to spiritual growth, compassion, justice, social activism, grounded in love? Unitarian Universalism celebrates diversity, and it draws inspiration from many faiths, philosophies, and wisdom traditions, guiding us to create a better world together. You may already be a UU and not know it. So whether you're looking for a spiritual home, a supportive community, or a space to grow and learn, you are welcome here.
Okay. We are Cathy and David Nelson. We moved to Boca Raton days after I retired. It just, for the first 2 or 3 years, we relied heavily on our in-laws in Boynton Beach for their network of friends and social interactions. I joined a couple of clubs. Cathy went to yoga and met people. But despite our efforts, we started to run out of people to talk to, and the friends in Boynton Beach were all 10 years older than us, different people. So I'm lost now.
You are.
So we had trouble for the first few years
I'm the nervous
finding people. Yeah, she's the nervous one. I'm not. Then in 2015, we found the UUFBR, and everything changed.
David and I started attending the UUFBR in 2015. I had driven past the sign many times because I used to volunteer for hospice at St. Andrews. Wonderful place. And it looked inviting after reading online that UUFBR is a fellowship of people who are free in faith, diverse in thought, united in caring, and committed to action. It's on our t-shirts, which I wear to all my rallies, marches. Well, I lost my place. We decided to visit. From that first Sunday, we met friendly people dedicated to causes we care about, social and racial justice, environmental protection, and helping those in need. Though neither of us are religious or spiritual, we find meaning and joy in this community and became members in 2016. And we enjoy it a lot.
Please thank all of the people who shared their story today. It's not easy. You can go, yeah, you don't say. If you were inspired by anything that was said, or you have a critique, or you would do it differently, go write your own. So I have one that I worked on for a while with, because I thought, well, if I'm asking other people, I got to try it too. So I worked with Carol Stevens on it together, and this is what we came up with. Unitarian Universalism is a faith grounded in right action rather than right belief. Instead of adherence to a creed, we form covenants, promising to live our shared values of justice, generosity, compassion, and respect for the inherent worth of every person. Rooted in a progressive history of Christian heresies, UUism invites individuals to search for their own truth and meaning while emphasizing how we love, how we live, and how we serve in beloved community. In short, it's not about your spiritual belief. It's about what you do to create a better, more inclusive world. Thank you again to everyone else who shared theirs.